Okay, so listen, I'm not here to convert you. I'm not here to argue religion. And I'm not here to tell you what to believe. What I am here to do is I'm here to reconnect what has never or what was never meant to be separated. Because, see, what people call Christianity, what people call Kemet, what people call Buddhism, and what people call spirituality has always been the same truth. Different names, different languages, same source. Now, let me break this down in a way that actually makes sense. If we're speaking in structure, Kemet is the root of everything. I don't care how you try to do it. Kemet is the root of everything. All right? That is where we see the foundation. We see divine law, ma'at, balance, knowing thyself, and the understanding that the divine is within you. Kemet already taught the kingdom is within. God is within. Everything begins within. That is the root. Then you have Buddhism, which comes in and teaches the mind. And remember, I said we're talking in structure right now, right? Because there was saviors that came before Christ, just to put that out there so that you know. And right now we have Buddhism. So you have Buddhism, which comes in and teaches the mind. And then it teaches your thoughts create your reality. Your perception creates your suffering. Everything starts with you. So now it takes that same truth and bringing awareness to how your inner world is shaping your outer world. And then this is where you have Christ. You have Christ comes in, and Christ is the embodiment of it. Not a separation from it, but an embodiment of it. Christ is showing you the kingdom is within you. Christ is showing you that you can do what I do. You can heal. You can move through spirit. You can live this same truth. So now, what Kemet taught and what Buddhism made you aware of, Christ demonstrates. And some of y'all might ask, well, why did I do Kemet and then Buddhism and then Christianity? Because for me, I'm Kemet rooted, I'm Christ embodied and Buddha natured, and I'm a metaphysician. So I understand the language of all of these. And I practice in all of it. I use it all because it is one and the same. It is all of everything. Okay? I teach the Bible interpretation as a metaphysical minister. I specialize in Bible interpretation. So therefore, I teach you exactly what Christ was teaching you. I teach you how to interpret, not even to interpret, because a lot of the stuff when you read in the Bible, if you really pay attention, is very, very clear and plain. It's not hard to get. A baby could understand that. If Jesus is telling you that, look at what I do, and then tells you to do the same thing, you should be able to do it. But you know what? A lot of people have not done that because they have been conditioned and programmed and taught that they are not able to do that. So now when they see people that's actually doing it, they fear it because they don't understand it, because it's not of the ordinary norm, and they demonize it. They say that it's demonic. But even Jesus said, how can you cast out demons with demons? So that right there implies that if you doing a laying on of hands, and I'm speaking on this specifically right now as an example in a teaching moment, because I am a healer. I lay hands. I do Reiki as well as Sekhem. No matter what you call it, it's all the laying on of hands, because you're laying hands on people or above people, right above people, okay, to heal them and to extract any negative, stagnant, dark energy out of the person, to unblock their energy field, to unblock their chakra centers, okay, their energy centers, to unblock those so that they can be able to function at their full potential. All right. So doing things like that and seeing people moving in certain ways, you can't be afraid of it and you can't demonize it, because even if you see somebody moving and they look like, oh, this looks like some exorcist, that's some demonic shit. No, you have to understand how strong energy is, especially if you are harboring it in trauma that's been held in the body and mind for so long. I've seen people who are very, very so-called holy and call themselves Christ-like and everything, and they do videos watching people doing healing work and stuff, where someone's doing breath work or energy work or anything like that, and they'll see the person on the table is moving or shaking or whatever the case is, and right then and there they call demon. That's because you don't understand the science of the energy of what is happening here. Okay? When Jesus laid hands on people who needed to get so-called demons out of them, the energy, the bad energy, dark energy out of them, he laid the hands and they did the same thing. And guess what though? Here's the thing. Even the people then, the Pharisees and some non-followers or whatever the case, they also called Jesus demonic, because that happened, because he took the energy and put it somewhere else. Okay. And Jesus was like, you cannot cast demons out with demons, like you just can't do that. Only light can do that. So before you start judging things, you need to educate yourself. Before you start demonizing everything, you need to educate yourself first and use your discernment that God gave you. Okay? Remember that God is within you. God is omnipotent. Okay? God is in you and all around you. God is everything you are and everything that is around you. Okay? That's what y'all got to start understanding. Moving on. This is where metaphysics comes in, because metaphysics is not separate. Metaphysics is the integration of all of it. It's the understanding that this is not belief. This is not theory. This is experience. It brings together the root, Kemet, the mind, Buddhism, the embodiment, Christ, and says, now live it. Now experience it. Now become it. Christ said, you can do all the things that I can do, and even greater. will you do? I really feel that this is the year where that realization is going to be very, very much emphasized a whole lot, because we are entering a certain time right now. But anyways, and this doesn't just apply to these three religions, okay? What I just said. This also applies to all religions. Every religion is expressing the same truth, just through different cultures, different languages, different times in history. Nothing is separate. Okay? Nothing. Nothing is separate. That is the whole thing that we have to really wrap our minds around, is that nothing is separate. And we also have to get out of this mindset that everything was, quote unquote, stolen. That's not the right understanding or understanding. Okay? Because if you understand cycles in evolution, then if you understand how truth moves, then you have to understand that nothing is new. You understand this already. You know nothing is new under the sun. Truth is not stolen. Truth is repeated. Truth is re-expressed. Truth is brought back in different forms when it's needed. Now, what was taken was our connection to our power. That's the difference. That's a difference. There's a difference between saying that all of this stuff was stolen and everything, and that our connection to our power was actually stolen. Okay, there's a difference between those. What was taken was our connection to our power. And what was distorted was our understanding of it. So when I speak, I'm not choosing one over the other. Yes, I teach Christ. I embody Christ consciousness. I was raised in Christianity. And part of my work is to restore the true meaning of Christ's teachings, to remove the fear, to remove the distortion, and to bring it back to truth. But at the same time, when I work, I lay hands. And when I move through energy. My roots are in Kemet. I move through Sekhmet. I move through Aset. I move through ancient divine intelligence. And I also understand and overstand the mind through the awareness that Buddhism teaches. So, what I'm doing is not mixing things. I'm speaking the same truth in multiple languages so that whoever is listening can understand it, understand it, and by golly, overstand it. The real problem is not religion. The real problem is division. Okay? We keep saying, this is my religion. This is the only way. That one is wrong. This one is right. while at the same time saying God is within, the kingdom is within. We are all connected. Do you see the contradiction? You can't teach unity and still practice division. And I see a lot of people doing that. And it's kind of weird to me. Everything is connected. Everything is one. Everything starts within you. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you know it or not, you are already a part of it. And until humanity truly understands this, understands this, overstands this, division will continue. But those who do understand, those who are awakening, we are evolving anyway. We are growing. We are rising. We are returning to what we've always been. The all. So no, I'm not choosing between Kemet, Christ, or Buddhism. I understand, understand, and overstand the root, the mind, and the embodiment. And I live the integration. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That right there is the truth. Well, I guess that's it. I love y'all. And you already know. Be blessed. Peace.